Welcome back to Tarot and Beyond. Today we are doing a singles love reading. So we have 3 options to choose from today. Group number 1 is the romantic feelings card. Group number 2 is the soulmate card. And group number 3 is the past life relationship card. So select which card calls to you, or if you feel called to multiple cards or maybe even all of them, use the timestamps linked in the description below to jump ahead to your chosen reading or readings to receive your messages. And we will see you there. All right. Hi, group number 1. Welcome to your singles love reading. So this is going to be an extra special, super fun reading where we're going to look at a couple of different things, and I have some fun new surprises for you guys. So you chose the romantic feelings card. It says your feelings are real and worth exploring. So you could be starting to have romantic feelings right now. There could be somebody whom you are interested in. I just heard the word crush, so you may have a crush on someone right now, or you are kind of getting ready to open your heart to somebody who could fill that spot or that role. So let's take a look at some more cards. We're going to grab a few more from this deck, which is the Romance Angels Oracle. Then we're going to get some Love Tarot, some Angel Answers, ooh, and then we're going to do some fun stuff. Okay, we have Release Your Ex. The time has come to clear your energy. So that was kind of what I was picking up on, is like there's a crush, but it was almost like you're clearing room for that to come in, perhaps. Maybe it's not here quite yet, and I think it may be because there's a need to clear your energy and to release your ex. At the time that I'm filming this reading, we are currently in Venus retrograde, and so this is a perfect time to reassess old relationship patterns. Old wounds from the past around our exes tend to come up. It can even be a time where exes come out of the woodwork, like they start hitting you up on social media, or you run into them when you're out and about, that kind of thing. And it doesn't necessarily mean that that has to be the case. And this is a timeless reading. So even if we're out of the retrograde period, this can still apply, because really these things can happen at any time. But I'm seeing that you really kind of need to clear your energy, group number 1, so that these romantic feelings can truly be explored. And maybe doing some exploration of your feelings connected to your ex is going to be important here. So, you know, retrograde periods are really great for reviewing. Passion. They're really great for reviewing, for assessing the past so that we can understand it and let it go. So you have passion. Allow your heart and soul to sing with joy. So reigniting your passion. Yes. And that's kind of this energy I feel of a potential crush. And if this is somebody you've already got your eye on, it's reigniting your passion and helping you to release your ex. And if this is somebody that you have not met yet, then this is kind of the process of releasing your ex to reignite the passion. It's like it's going to clear space is what I'm feeling. I do see this card. New love. Yes, exactly. A new person has stirred your romantic feelings. Exactly. Thank you so much, Spirit, for confirming what I'm picking up on here. Someone has either stirred your romantic feelings recently, or this is going to happen as you adjust these old energies, as you release, as you let go, as you clear and clean your energy. I just heard clean and clear and under control. Yes. So you want to, like, you know, squeaky clean, give yourself a full cleanse of your energy, because that's going to help you to open up to these romantic feelings, to reignite your passion, and to welcome in this new love potential, because I do feel them energetically kind of waiting on the sidelines. If this is somebody you've already got your eye on, they're energetically there because you are connected to them, because you're crushing on them. And if you haven't met them yet, it's kind of like they're waiting in the wings. Yeah, they're showing me somebody waiting on the sidelines of a football game. It's like they're on the bench right now. You've benched them, group number 1. And what you need to do here is to open up to passion if that's something that you truly desire. I mean, I'm assuming that's something you desire if you clicked on a love reading, you know? There, I just wanted to center your cards a bit better because I noticed they were off. The bottom of the deck energy is children, and usually I don't take bottom of the deck energy unless I'm called, and they did tell me to flip it over and then to talk about it. So your love life is being affected by children. This could mean a couple of different things. It could mean that you have children and you are sort of hesitant to start the dating process again. You might even have children with an ex, and that's why there's a connection here that is kind of making it challenging to open up to new love and reignite reignite the passion and have these romantic feelings. This could also be about your inner child. You know, the exes may have been playing into this dynamic of a wounded attachment style, is what Spirit is telling me. And this may have kind of closed your heart a little bit because of fear that any new love will repeat that old pattern, which is why they're asking you to clear and release your ex so that you can fully free up your energy, open your heart, and receive the love that is just waiting very patiently on the sidelines for you. Okay, they do want me to go into the Angel Answers deck. These do have timings and yes and no questions. So if you are concerned about timing or you have a yes or no question in mind, just hold that in your heart and we'll see what comes up here. I'm not going to kind of ask any specific questions. I'm just going to allow the cards to speak to us and we'll see what comes out. Oh, I do feel this one and this one. Let's get one more, Spirit. Oh, it's right on the bottom, isn't it? Nope, they said nope, not that one. Thank you. Spirit always got my back. Top or bottom? Bottom, thank you. Okay. I want to start from this side for whatever reason. Normally I go left to right. There's something better. If you're still hung up on your ex, group number 1, there is something much, much better for you. It's coming up under new love. So there's something much better waiting in the wings. Like I said, it's benched right now, but your romantic feelings are going to be stirred, or they've recently just been stirred, and you're like, okay, this new love is something better than what I used to have. And I think maybe that will help you to release it. So I think for some of you, it's going to be a process of releasing, and then that is what catalyzes the attraction of this new person. Whereas for others of you, this is actually going to be the other way around. It's like you meet this new person and it helps you to clear out the old energy. And it varies, okay? Ooh, you have unlikely. Interesting. Let me ask Spirit what they mean by this. This is the fear. Okay. So there's a fear, there's resistance in the heart, maybe around some wounds from an ex relationship that where the dynamic was quite imbalanced. And I'm feeling like there's this guardedness of the heart and hesitancy. Yeah, hesitancy to explore any deep feelings or new love. Even though you've clicked on this reading, this is probably something that's happening a little bit more unconsciously. And if you are aware of that, that's good. Oops, I just noticed that I'm missing a nail. Sorry guys, one sec. In the ghetto, in the ghetto. In the ghetto, we wear press-on nails. All right, there we go. That's a little better. Sorry about that. I did not even notice that, but I think that everything in readings happens for a reason. So I'm taking the meaning of this nail being missing as kind of like something that you're not seeing that needs to be fixed. Like you didn't see it, something's exposed, and it maybe even feels vulnerable, and you need to kind of go in and repair. So that's kind of what I'm seeing with the X here. Let's take a look at, you have get more information. Yeah, they're wanting you to get more information so that you can really understand what you need to do to clear and release this X, because the hesitancy that I'm feeling from unlikely is like this resistance to welcoming in a new partner, because there's fear around what if that old pattern repeats, or what if I'm hurt again, or what if they take advantage of me, or what if it's toxic, things like that. But I'm seeing that it's actually unlikely that that will happen, especially if you're working to release your ex by understanding why those patterns occurred in the first place. So it's a lot of kind of self-inquiry, introspection, and personal healing. Let's see. It is up to you. It is up to you, group number 1. It's very much in your hands how you want to go about exploring these feelings, doing this healing. Maybe do like a cleansing ritual, or some kind of a release ceremony. You know what I mean? Like they're showing me the scene in Friends when Monica, Phoebe, and Rachel get together and they like burn all of the stuff from their ex-boyfriends. Yeah. So that kind of thing. And this is, I see, going to help to bring in a new, renewed sense of passion, is what Spirit just said. A renewed sense of passion that you may have in the past thought was unlikely to happen. Maybe you were kind of in a state of emotional dormancy for a while. Maybe you were focused on your children, or you were focused on work, or you were focused on other things. And so it's like, oh, it's unlikely that something's going to stir my passion. It's unlikely that something's going to stir my romantic feelings. But they're saying, no, it is going to happen, especially when and if you release your ex. And then when those feelings do come in, they are real and they're very, very worth exploring. And it's important that you do. This is part of like a larger spiritual lesson, is what I'm seeing. So let's get some, no, they don't want me to get clarifiers just yet. Okay. What would they like me to do here? Okay, yeah, we're going to do something a little bit different. So what I was called to do, and Spirit just guides me through the process of like what cards to pick and all of the things that we do in readings. And they actually had me go into like a storage box that I have in my office where I have like games and stuff like that. I have boggles, categories, and puzzles and things like that for when, you know, a rainy day. And they had me get out the categories cue cards. And they told me, here's what you're going to do. You're going to use a dice, and you're going to roll the dice, and whatever number the dice is, that's the number that you're going to look at, and that's going to help prompt you to get this information about this person. Now, another thing that we're going to do is get letters to see if we can identify maybe some initials that are important in these maybe new relationships or new love, so that you kind of have an identifier for when this person comes in. And we're also going to get the astro dice and see if we can get the zodiac sign or potential zodiac sign or signs of important individuals in this situation. Okay, so let's start with this categories. I feel this one. Okay, so let's roll. We have a number 9, and number 9 says, reasons for sending a card. Oh, wow. Well, I love the fact that this is a card, these are cards, but this can also mean like reasons for communicating, reasons for sending a card. So it could be a birthday, it could be a wedding. They're showing me in my mind like an RSVP, an event. Could be a wedding, could be something else. So this could be how you're meeting this new person. You might have a card sent to you that invites you to an event. Okay. They're telling me to go again, but with a different card. Okay. So let's get another one. I do see this one. No, it's not that one. Thank you. Just keep going. Okay. Let's roll again. We have the number 4. Number 4 on this list is people in uniforms. Wow. Okay. So this could be somewhere, you know, it's funny because the reference that they were showing us about, in Friends, when they're burning their stuff from their exes, they end up causing a bit of a fire, and the firemen come. So it's like people in uniforms. So there could be people in uniforms who are at this event. Interesting. Okay, they're telling me go again. For group number 1. Yeah, it's this one. They're actually telling me it's the other side of this one. Oh yeah, because there's 2 sides, I forgot. Okay, and let's roll again. We have the number 8. Things you can squeeze. How cute is that? Like cuddling. That's the first thing that popped into my mind. They're also showing me in my mind's eye like a teddy bear, like a kid who has a teddy bear. So this could be, again, like doing some inner child healing, because, stuffed animals and things like that are comfort items. So I feel like there's something around creating safety for yourself through a comfort item, or this could be an event where there is things you can squeeze. I just heard my main squeeze. Yeah, I feel like this new love, I think it'll start out as a crush, and there will be a lot of like, I just want to squeeze you. You're so cute. You know, I just want to cuddle you, something like that. And it's way better than what you've experienced in the past. It feels very, very mutual is what I'm getting. Okay, let me see if they want me to, they said don't get any more cards from these, but keep rolling. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. Let's roll for this one over here, list 7. We have number 4 again. No way. Is that the same one? Yeah, it is. People in uniforms. That is crazy. So Spirit is like, this is really important. Pay attention to this. They're reminding me of the get more information cards. So let me just actually tune in and psychically connect to see if I can get more information that way. They're actually telling me to get more information from the Fireside Story dice. So let's do that. Okay, no, we'll do that in a second. Let's do this first. Let's do list 3. Number 3. So 3 types of cereal. That's so funny. So this person, this new crush that you have might like cereal. Cereal also reminds me of being a kid. Like I ate the most cereal I've ever eaten in my life was when I was a kid. And you did have that children card. So this could be indulging your inner child, or this could be somebody who's good with children because they have a very active, developed, healthy inner child. You know what I mean? Okay, let's do list 9. Number 2. Movie titles. Okay, so tickets and events like cards and things like that could be going to a movie. This person might want to take you out on a date. They might want to talk to you about movie titles. They might be a movie buff. Somebody who enjoys different kinds of movies. I'm hearing comedy. They like comedies. Maybe even romantic comedies. This person might really love rom-coms. That is so cute because they're things you can squeeze. Yeah, they have a very active inner child is what Spirit is telling me. This new love, very active inner child. They are very caring, very loving. They like to cuddle. They like romantic comedies. They have a very open, innocent heart is kind of what I'm getting here. Yeah, they like cereal. They keep bringing me that. They like cereal, and they might be actually somebody who wears a uniform. Like they might be a firefighter or a police officer, or I mean, so many different jobs wear uniforms, right? Like we pretty much like any service industry or yeah. Oh, they just showed me famous athletes too. That's interesting. We didn't roll for that, but they're just kind of highlighting it in my inner eye. This person could be into sports, and they monitor famous athletes. They know a lot about famous athletes, or this person could be a famous athlete. I mean, hey, that's definitely something better. I don't know, but yeah, this could be somebody who you meet in a grocery store for some of you, because we're reading for large groups of people here. So keep in mind, these are general readings. Just take what resonates. If it feels like you get a hit on something, that's how you'll know. But yeah, it says found in a grocery store, and it's kind of making me think of somebody who, well, you might meet them in the grocery store when they're buying cereal. Oh. And then they kind of ask you out, and you start talking about movies or something, and then they ask you out. That's kind of what I'm seeing there. And they're also drawing my attention to foods you fry. Number 4, foods you fry. And when it comes to famous athletes, this makes me think of like the Super Bowl. I don't know when that is. I think that's in the fall, isn't it? Or is it in the winter? I can't remember. But yeah, there's something about maybe like a Super Bowl, or like going to a hockey game together. Yeah, so they do want me to get the initials and the zodiac sign first. Then we're going to go into the story dice. Okay, so let's take a look here. We have F. First thing that jumped into my mind was firefighter. This person. Ooh. Okay, that fell right out of frame, but it's a B. Could be somebody whose name starts with a B. We have a W. Okay. And an R. One more? Nope, they said that's good. All right. And zodiac sign, we have Aries, Aquarius, Pisces, Aries, Aquarius, Pisces, one more, and Taurus. Okay, so that could be one of their top 3. That could be yours. It could be confirmation for you. Take it how it resonates. Now what we're going to do is grab this handy dandy DIY little charm board that I created. So we've got all of these different categories, and what we're going to do is take the Fireside Story dice, which is another game that I've turned into a divination tool, and we're going to see what comes up here. All right, so for group number 1, in regard to this new love, what do they need to know? Okay. So if it fell on the middle, I'm going to ask, which is it? Spiritual guidance? Yes. The ones that fell off the sort of map here, I'm just going to put them in the category that they're closest to. Okay. All right. So let's start with the spiritual guidance, because this is the one that's really standing out to me. So you have a tent here under spiritual guidance. So this could be like a temporary state of transition is what I'm feeling. You're in a temporary state of transition right now. And there's kind of, I feel like you've been preoccupied, group number 1, and maybe that's why you're like, it's unlikely that I'm going to meet this new love, or it's unlikely that I'm going to have somebody stir my feelings up and want to have me want to engage in dating or something like that. Yeah, I feel I'm getting like hermit energy from the tent here under spiritual guidance. So this could be actually productively doing some introspective work where you kind of spend some time alone to be able to dive into the emotions that need healing around this past relationship or past relationship dynamics in general. The cow here is speaking to me of worthiness for whatever reason. That was what came into my mind. It popped into my mind. They were showing me the milk, and it's like milk is expensive. And there's even that saying my mom used to say, why would they buy the cow if they can get the milk for free? And it's like, look at even this here, it's like the milk, you know? So I think this is really about self-worth. If you've had a hard time in past relationships, it could be because there was some self-worth issues that needed healing. And that could have happened or stemmed from childhood, since we saw the children card. And I also just heard you want to set a good example for your children. So if you do have children, then this is going to be about like remaining in integrity, because you want to set a good example for your children. So maybe you've been abstaining from love or dating because you don't want to kind of bring new people into your home and family that maybe won't stay, or you don't really know them that well, something like that. But I feel like the more that you get to identify with and really know your self-worth at the deepest core of your being, the more that you will be able to discern and make the decisions based on how your intuition is telling you to go here, and being connected to your heart and your feelings is going to help too. So self-worth, introspection, that's the spiritual guidance. Now let's look at home. We're just going to go around counterclockwise. Or is that clockwise? Yeah, that is clockwise. So home, you have a burger. That's kind of what I was seeing there. Fried foods it was in my mind. They were showing me like a cookout, a barbecue, or like a Super Bowl party, or like a sporting event or something. And that's what burgers makes me think of as well. So you may be having some kind of like a get together in your home, or they might be doing that. And that's where you get invited to, or you meet with them. Maybe it's through, maybe it's through family, because you do have the shamrock, but I'm getting ahead of myself. I want to look at camera here in the home. This is giving me the idea that you're going to be watching something at home. Yeah, it's giving me like home movies vibes almost, you know, like maybe this person is an athlete and they have like movies of them, or like recordings of themselves playing their sport. I am getting famous energy from this camera. That is so strange. But it's in the home. I'm going to have to come back to that one because I'm not really sure. Okay, so in family, yeah, we have this shamrock, the 4-leaf clover. So this is good luck and serendipity. And so it could be related to some kind of like a family barbecue, or again, maybe you go to the grocery store to get ingredients for the family barbecue, and this is where you meet this person. So it's somehow indirectly or directly related to family, the home. This could even be camping, but I was really just kind of feeling the tent as more like spiritual guidance. The sunglasses, family, maybe your family is going to think this person, this new love or, you know, potential partner is very cool. Like, oh, he or she is a famous athlete, or they're famous somehow. I don't know how they're famous or for what. They wear a uniform that could literally be like a sports team uniform. I just got that they could do promotional stuff for like fast food restaurants. Oh my God, what? Who is this person? Okay, so yeah, they're very cool. Your family likes them, and it's all very like, yeah, it's very kind of fun is what I'm feeling in the family sector. Okay, friends now with the tools card. The friends are tools in some way in this situation. Again, I'm getting this feeling of like you get invited to something. Your friends are involved in that invitation in some way. And I'm kind of feeling like there's more than one event here. Like I'm feeling that this may be because I'm reading for so many people, but it could also be that these are multiple times that you see or meet with this person. Maybe the first time it's in passing, the second time it's at an event, the third time it's on a date, the fourth time it's because of a connection to friends. It's kind of like I'm seeing like these multiple occasions rather than just this one isolated meeting or event. But I feel like the meet cute, you know, like that's like a film term. So maybe they work in film. A meet cute is kind of like how two characters that are meant to be together actually meet for the first time. And it's usually very serendipitous and, you know, synchronized, and it's really cute. Hence the term meet cute. So I get the sense that there's going to be some kind of a synchronicity or serendipity in how you guys meet. And it's going to be really cute. Like maybe there's a cute story to tell around how this came to be. Now it's interesting that we have the heart eyes on social media, because this is like literally an emoji that you can do to react to people's posts and stuff like that. So I feel like this person might be giving you hearts on Twitter, or maybe this is somebody that you actually follow on Twitter. For some of you, they could be a social media person. They may work from home. Oh, okay. Yeah, and you might like their stuff, or they might like yours. Like they might see you on social media and kind of make the first move. Or you guys, after you meet, you flirt a lot on social media, and this really stirs up your romantic feelings. Okay, the self here, we have the talking face, the talking head. So it's important that you communicate, group number one. Communicate with yourself to help you understand and get more information about releasing your ex. Maybe like literally journal it out and kind of just brainstorm about what happened, why you think it happened, what the patterns were, what you still feel is kind of lingering. It's kind of like going fishing, right? The water represents the emotional realm, the subconscious mind, and you kind of got to like bait the hook here and cast your line to try and get some information from within yourself by maybe talking to yourself out loud, or doing some journaling work or mirror work or something like that. That's kind of part of the spiritual guidance here, and I think that's going to help you improve your sense of self-worth here. You're going to see yourself more clearly. But I also see the fishing rod here and the communication thing as you might actually be reaching out to them, kind of like dropping them a DM or a heart or something like that, or like reposting something of theirs on social media, and you might have like mutual friends in common, and so it's kind of like you have like through the grapevine sort of an in, almost is what it feels like. But I'm also seeing that this person could do that to you, like they could fish for you a little bit, like by giving you, like a, hey, like I like your pictures or something like that. Maybe you're a social media person and they see your stuff online. And they think it's delicious. Oh my God, that's so funny. Yeah, they see your stuff on social media and they're like, damn, that's delicious. Let me throw some heart eyes up on here. let me let me slide into their DMs or tweet at them or comment or something like that. And they did say reason to send a card. So it could be like they send you, like a digital card, something like that, like a meme or a comment, or maybe they're old fashioned and send you a postcard. I don't know. I find it interesting that you have nothing in work. So this is not related to work at all. And that's kind of what I was feeling too with like the rest of the cards and everything else that we have. I feel like it's either going to be at a social event, it's going to be at like a family or friend event, or it's going to be on social media. Those are like the three main ones that I'm seeing. So yeah, it has nothing to do with work. Okay, let's see what else they want. Yeah, the rose petals. Okay. So thank you to the anonymous donor who sent us the flower petals cards from my Amazon wish lists so that we can have these beautiful messages. Let's take a look and see what Spirit wants you to know here. I do feel, oh, we got 3. I meant to grab 1, but 3 came out, so I'm going to take them. Yeah. All right. We have Daphne, what pleases us most shapes us. I feel like this is really about reconnecting to your passion. Like, what do you value? And what do you feel like you deserve? Those are things that I'm seeing very much highlighted here in this new potential love and in releasing of the ex. It's like by connecting to what pleases you, you can shape yourself into someone who really truly knows that they are worthy of somebody who is high caliber, like a high caliber man or woman, hold out for something better. If you feel like it's unlikely that you're going to get some kind of a high level offer from someone of real true value, and that doesn't necessarily mean that they have to be famous or an athlete or, something like that. High value is about the integrity of the individual, the nature of their heart and how they will treat you. That's what I'm seeing here. And it's connecting to what pleases you and really identifying what really stirs your feelings of passion that can help to attract this person in. We also have Jasmine. Success will be found if you hold on to hope. Oh, again, it's like there's resistance. You've been like, it's unlikely, it's not going to happen. Let's say, for example, you have kids and you're like, nobody's going to want to date me because I have kids, or I don't have time to date because I have kids, or I'm too busy and my heart is kind of closed off because of what's happened in the past, or my ex is still in the picture because, maybe there's a divorce going on, or you're separated, or the kids, they have custody. I don't know. It's just, it feels like you're having to kind of do this deep inner work to find out what really pleases you and what gives you that sense of satisfaction, so you can renew your sense of self-worth and explore those deeper feelings to heal and release your ex so that you can feel this renewed sense of hope. Because group number 1, there is hope. Spirit is telling me very clearly that the unlikely is not a message of truth. It is a fear, and only a fear. It stems from the pain of the past. It stems from subconscious wounds that are trying to push away and keep at bay that which can make you feel a little bit vulnerable. Because opening up to new love does feel vulnerable, even if it's fun and passionate and we like it. There's still usually a part of us that feels like, oh, if I really invest and open up my heart, I could get hurt. But don't lose hope. Hold on to hope. There is something better. It is coming in. This is a new romantic partner who will stir your deepest feelings and meet you there. And you have Gerbera, I don't know how to pronounce that. Show appreciation and joy shall follow. Show appreciation and joy shall follow. So I'm seeing you might be showing appreciation. Yeah, you might be reaching out or liking or commenting or something like that, or you might follow them or something like that on social media. You're showing appreciation, and then this joy follows because it's like there's some kind of a word of mouth through the grapevine connection or communication. I want to get one more of these. No, they're telling me no. Okay, they're telling me we can actually get a couple of charms if we want to, and I do want to. So let's do that to close out the reading. We'll get some charms and we'll put them here on the mat as well to see what the context is for them. Okay, so for group number 1. Alrighty, what do we have here? Wow, you have the ring. Now, normally this would be about engagement, but it came up in the work arena. So I feel like you are very committed to your work, group number 1, and maybe that's why this is not where you're meeting that person, because actually that's kind of like keeping you away from meeting this person. Like maybe you got your nose to the grindstone every hour of the day, and you're like, I've got to, I got to pay the bills, or I got to feed my children, or you're just really passionate about what you're doing, or all of the above. And maybe it's even a bit of a distraction, because if there's a hole where that love should be, and there's a wound where the X is still lingering around in your field, your energy field, then this could be why there's kind of like I'm getting like a little bit of a workaholic vibe, okay? I'm not going to lie. I'm just going to tell it like it is. I'm getting a little bit of a workaholic vibe. There's nothing wrong with being committed to your work, but I feel like this could be something that is impeding the connection, or, just kind of limiting the exposure to this type of person. Okay, we do have the world here, like the globe in the home, which is very interesting because globe is like not the home. It's like out in the world. Yeah, they're worldwide. They're showing me McDonald's franchise. So this could be literal, or this could be referring to the fact that they have like a worldwide franchise of some kind. Again, I think that's why they're very successful. There's something about the globe. I'm also getting globetrotter. So they could be somebody who, like, they don't really have a permanent home. Maybe that's why there's a tent here. They're very committed to their work. And I just got Dairy Queen. Dairy Queen. They could be affiliated with Dairy Queen. This is so random. So I'm just going to like say whatever comes through, because, something so anything that comes through is meant to come through for a reason, even if it's just like one little thing. Yeah. So anyway, they're like globetrotters of some kind. Maybe they're world travelers and they don't really have like a permanent residence. They kind of just, maybe they like travel a lot, maybe for work. Yeah. Interesting. Okay, and then you have the earplug in the social media category. Oh, that's interesting. And then you have so the earplug represents not wanting to hear something, or it can also mean like that you're not hearing something. So maybe you think this person doesn't hear you, like they don't notice your likes, or they don't notice your comments or something like that. But they're actually showing that they do, because you have the peace heart. This is like the dove, and doves in this case are making me think of communication. It's like kind of like a carrier pigeon. They also, they're telling me hope. Yeah, hope. Oh, right. We have the success will be found if you hold on to hope. It's like, don't lose hope. If you think this person doesn't hear you, they do. Or they don't see you, they do. I feel like someone has a crush on you and you're actually keeping them at bay. Yeah, somebody has a crush on you and they actually think that you don't hear them. Ooh, interesting. And they've tried to communicate to you before. They've sent you messages or comments or texts or something like that. But maybe you're just really busy and you're distracted. Yeah, I just heard for some of you, it's going to be let your friends fix you up. That's just, again, like that wasn't even what we were talking about, but that's what Spirit said. Let your friends fix you up. If this is somebody who actually knows people that it's like through association or something like that. So random. So many messages in this reading. Wow, this is really cool. So let me see if there's any final closing messages Spirit wants to bring through. Yeah, they do. They want me to roll the astro dice on this mat to get additional information. I freaking knew that that was going to come up. Okay, I just felt it. I was like Taurus in the home, and then we have Taurus in the home. Well, it was kind of outside the home, but yeah, it's like right there. And Taurus is an energy that loves home. They love the creature comforts of life. They love media. They love watching movies on the couch and eating good food. So you could be this person, or that's this new person and how they are. But for whatever reason, we've got the World. So I feel like maybe that's part of it. Like they enjoy their time when they're at home, but they also love to travel because the World is their home. Oh, they might be quite extroverted, but Taurus in the home front can also be introverted too. So maybe they're like a balance of both. Okay, let's see what else. We have Scorpio in the social media category. Interesting. So Scorpio is very deep, very passionate, very like sexy sign. It's a little bit risque. It's taboo. So they could be posting things that are a little bit risque or taboo. Maybe like, you know, sexy selfies or something like that. Or this could be, I just heard thirst trap. They might post thirst traps, or you might do that to try and catch their attention. No judgment from me. If that's what you want to do, that's fine. But I'm also just seeing like passion, and you did have the passion card. They're reminding me passion. Yeah. And what pleases us shapes us. So it's like reconnecting to your pleasure, reconnecting to what you find joy in, or what you're obsessed with. You know, this could just be straight up that you are like obsessed with social media. Maybe you work on social media. Maybe you just really enjoy consuming social media. But I feel like, yeah, there's a lot of passion there. Let's just put it that way. There's a lot of passion, whether they are observing your work on social media, or you and your content on social media, or you and your pictures on social media. It's like they're passionate about it, or you are passionate about them. Okay, one final message. Thank you so much, Spirit. No way. Look at that. You have Scorpio again in the social media category. They might be a Scorpio who works in social media. I did just get that message. Or they have content on social media. Let's say, for example, they are an athlete or something like that. It's like their stuff is all over social media. And people are very upset. I'm getting like this energy of obsession, but like not necessarily. Oops. And Leo just flipped over too when I accidentally did that. Leo is very like dramatic. They could be an actor. They could be in commercials, because we did get that franchise and world. Or they might be a model. Wow. Good for you, group number 1. Or you might be a model. Damn. So yeah, show your appreciation. And joy will follow. And I love that we have the follow and the little birdie here, which makes me think of like Instagram or Twitter. It's like following people, you know, you follow people that you admire. You follow people who, you know, you resonate with, or who you enjoy what they create. Leo is very creative, dramatic, bold. They're showing me a peacock. So this could be somebody who like peacocks, or seems like they have a lot of external confidence. I think they do. I'm getting a little bit of an extroverted vibe from them. And then but the Scorpio is very deep and very feeling oriented. So I think this person is very, very connected to their passions, very connected to their emotions. And like I said, they like to snuggle, they like to cuddle, they're very touchy-feely, they're very emotional by nature, which is really cool, I think. All right. Success will be found, group number 1, so hold on to hope. Hopefully this gave you a little bit more information and some direction. I hope that this helped you. Ultimately, it is up to you how you approach the situation, who you allow in, and how you approach your emotional healing and capacity to receive love. So I'm sending you so much love to help open your heart and to receive this person who is clearly something better than you have experienced in the past, and know that you are worthy, you are deserving, and that you are loved by me, by Spirit, and by by this individual. So thank you so much, guys, for being here. I love you. If you want to go deeper on the channel, I do have memberships available. And if you don't see the join button next to the subscribe button, that means you're on an iOS device and you will need to go through a desktop computer or some other device to access the join button and receive all of the members only content. We have lots of pick a card readings. We do weekly, week ahead readings. We also do how-tos and tutorials, as well as once a month live members only readings where I answer your questions directly on camera and tune into your energy, providing healing, guidance, and support. So thank you so much for your support, guys. I love you, and we'll see you in the next reading. Bye. All right. Hi, group number 2. Welcome to your singles love reading. If you chose the soulmate card, then this is going to be for you. So it says, yes, this is your soulmate. If you have had someone in mind, or if you are looking for a soulmate, things are looking good, very positive for you. So let's get a few more cards from the Romance Angels deck. We're also going to get Angel Answers deck. And, you know, they do want me to mention that when I was pre-shuffling, this card did come out. It says within the next few months. So they do want me to mention that. I'm going to put it back into the deck though. And if it wants to come out again, it can. But it really just wanted to give you this message that if you've been looking for a soulmate, they may be coming in within the next few months. Okay. Yeah, so let's take a look, group 2. What does group 2 need to know about this potential soulmate? Ooh, healing family issues. Your love life benefits as you forgive your parents. You know, this second card was where group number 1 had some healing stuff going on too. So it's interesting that the second card in both of these readings is really talking about doing some emotional healing stuff. Specifically, if your love life will benefit as you forgive and heal your relationship to your primary caregivers. I do feel this one, and get one more from this deck as well. For group number 2, there it is. Thank you. Wow, no way. You guys have the new love card. Group number 1 had that in the exact same position as well. If you were called to that reading, there could be some messages there for you, or this could be spirit calling you to that reading because there's messages here for you. So I would say, yeah, include that in your viewing pleasure for today, if that resonates. Okay, so it says new love, a new person has stirred your romantic feelings. So this is definitely a new soulmate, somebody whom you have not met yet. Or this can be someone who you met recently, but because we had that in the next few months card, I think that this is somebody who you have not met yet. Let's take a look at this card. Love yourself first. Your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. So they are talking about doing some personal emotional healing work here in regard to family issues, loving yourself. That was definitely coming up in group 1, so I can see how these readings are connected. That's going to help to catalyze, is the word Spirit just used, catalyze your connection to this person, draw them in, or make you more romantically attractive to them. And not that you need to make yourself more romantically attractive. I just mean like energetically, the frequency will be a match, and so it's like a magnet. You know, you're not like trying to catfish anyone. It's just an energetic attraction that draws this person in because you are in a state of alignment within yourself. You have loved yourself. Your self-worth is strong. It's blooming. It's blossoming. It's taking root. And in those roots, you're healing and forgiving pain that may have come from your parents. Okay, let's take a look at the Angel Answers cards. So these do have yeses and nos, and they do have timing, as you saw in that initial card. So let's take a look and see for group 2 what messages in regard to this new love. Wow, your cards are very jumpy. You have reconsider. Reconsider. Let's get more information. I don't want to jump to conclusions. Choose a new direction. Wow. Okay, that's pretty clear. I mean, you know, I asked for clarity and it's basically the same message. So what Spirit is saying here is that if you have been, if you've been hung up on someone, they're actually saying that there's a different direction So if this is somebody that you thought was your soulmate in the past, yes, they probably are, because we have many different soulmates, okay? We, like everyone, our family members are our soulmates, our friends are our soulmates. People who we hate actually are usually our soulmates as well, because we've kind of signed up at soul level to play these different roles that catalyze evolution for each other. And karmic partners are also forms of soulmates and things like that. So really everyone is a soulmate, so it's not very descriptive. But in the context of love, I think what most people think of when they think of soulmate is somebody who they're meant to be with. It's like an ideal partner, you know, the perfect match. But in this case, I'm seeing that someone who you used to think was your soulmate, yes, they were in that larger context, but it's actually not. You're reconsidering, or you are meant to reconsider and choose a new direction, because there is a new love coming in within the next few months that is going to really match the energy of love that you've been able to give to yourself. So if you can give yourself more love, then you're going to get more love. So yeah, it's worth the investment. Let's take a look and see what else. For group 2, what else do they need to know, Spirit, about this new love? Abundance of love for yourself is what's going to really, really create positive results for you here, group 1. I'm feeling that really strongly. The more you can love yourself, the better. It's going to increase the attraction energetically from this person or to this person, and it's going to yeah, they're showing me like the energy expanding out of you the more that you step into this abundant self-respect. They're showing me like there's like a force field that you're emitting. It's really cool, actually. It's quite beautiful. It's like this radiant pink coral type force field. And you have recovery. Okay, so they do want you to recover your sense of self-respect. They want you to recover your love for yourself. They want you to recover and do some healing. This is probably the new direction that they're talking about here. So if you've been hung up on someone, it's about letting that go and healing and doing this work, similar to the message in group 1. But I think there is a slight difference here in that this could also be about understanding that you are your own soulmate too, like having this really good relationship with yourself and actually prioritizing that. That could be this new love that, again, it's like this new love is the love that you have for yourself. But again, it's going to catalyze and attract that, because you will attract what you are embodying. Everything is just a mirror. So the more abundant you can choose to approach your relationship with yourself, the better and faster this recovery is going to happen. And the more quickly this individual will come in within the next few months, especially if you reconsider and you choose this new direction for yourself ASAP, like right stat now, like yesterday if you can, because that's what's going to help. You have no need to worry on the bottom of the deck. And I did mention in group number 1, I don't always check the bottom of the deck energy, but they called me to. So there's no need to worry, group number 2. You are, you're meant to experience an abundance of love. It's just you've kind of got to focus on loving yourself first. But don't worry, we are going to get more information about new love potentials coming in and what to know. So I have some fun new things for you guys today. If you're new to the channel, these are going to be new to you for the first time anyway, but if you are a regular here, these are new to us all in general. So what Spirit called me to do was actually to go into a little storage box that I have in my office here with some games and puzzles and stuff like that. And they told me, look in this categories box. And so I did, and I totally forgot that I had these, and it comes with these lists. And they were like, you're going to use these lists, and you're going to use the number dice, and you're going to roll and find which one comes up, and then use that in the romance readings. And I was like, okay, so that's what we're going to do. So group number 2, in regard to this new love, what do they need to know, Spirit? I do feel that one. Okay, so let's take a look. You have number 5. So number 5 on this card is favors people ask for. Okay, favors people ask for. So this could be that your family is asking you for favors all the time, because I am seeing that the number 5 did land right on that card. And this could be where you're kind of having to choose a new direction. I just heard boundaries in my head. Self-love and self-respect can really be about setting boundaries with your family as a form of self-love and self-care. So if people are constantly asking you for favors and they're taking from you, it is about setting those boundaries so you can focus on yourself and your needs. The quote, you need to be selfish to be selfless is coming up. So you need to be selfish to be selfless. Group number 2, it is important that you fill your own cup first before going out and pouring into other people, because that's how you end up depleted, and that's how you end up needing to be in recovery here. You know what I mean? So to feel like you have an abundance of energy or an abundance of love or an abundance of whatever you want, maybe even money, is to really kind of set some boundaries around what and when you give and how you give and how often and to who. I think that's really important here. They're emphasizing that pretty heavily in regard to these family issues. Let's roll again. No, they're telling me get a new card. Okay, thank you, Spirit. So for group 2, yes, this one. They want me to get another one for here as well. Okay, good. So let's roll for list 3. So list 3, Spirit, what does group 2 need to know? You have 11. Okay, so 11 is places in your hometown. All right, so this could be, again, family relates to your hometown as well, whether or not they still live there, but this could be where you meet this person at a place in your hometown. If you still live there, that's probably easiest. But if not, maybe you're visiting, maybe you're going to meet people, maybe people in your family have asked you for something and you need to go home to your hometown, and then you run into this person. I just got that it could be, if you're into like meditation ceremonies and stuff like that, you could be meeting this person at like a yoga class, or like a breathwork class, or a sound bowl healing or something like that, because they're showing me her like meditating and doing like something to do with recovery here. So maybe being around your family and having them constantly ask for favors stresses you out, and then you're like, oh, I need to like burn off some of this energy and go to yoga, or I need to just do a little bit of self-care and go for a sound healing or something like that. And this could be where you meet this person, but we're gonna get more info. So let's do list 8. Oop. Rolled way off the camera. You got a 4. It says things with stripes. Oh, that is so funny. Things with stripes. You know what was the first thing that came to mind was actually, well, 2 things actually. The first thing that came to mind was a leopard doesn't change its spots. So if you're kind of expecting a past soulmate to change and to maybe they need recovery or something like that, they're saying just focus on yourself. Maybe that person can or will change eventually, but maybe it's not really the priority right now. It's important for you to just focus on yourself. The other thing with things with stripes made me think of is camouflage. Camouflage is kind of like wanting to blend in or not wanting to be seen. Quite literally, this could be that they're wearing a striped shirt, or they literally have something that has stripes on it, if we're looking at it not as a metaphor. Okay, they do want me to roll one more time, get one more letter from, or one more number from each card. So let's roll for list 8 again. Oh no, they're telling me go back in the order I did before, 6, 3, and then 8. Okay. So list 6. Whoops, sorry, I kind of stopped that with my hand, but I'm going to take it. It's a number 1, and the number 1 is world records. Okay. Wow, this could be somebody who I just saw in my mind's eye the Guinness World Book of Records, and that's so funny because that was like a family thing that me and my family used to do. Actually, every Christmas, my parents would get me and my brother a Guinness World Book of Records and a Ripley's Believe It or Not book, and we would all sit together on Christmas morning, and we would go through and look at all of the interesting people and what they had accomplished and stuff like that, and all of the like weird things in the Ripley's book. yeah, it's like a super positive, happy childhood memory for me. So that could be something as well. It's kind of like reconnecting to happy connections to your family after you've set some boundaries and prioritized yourself. That could be what really helps the recovery. It's kind of like prioritizing your needs while at the same time forgiving through connecting to positive, happy memories. Okay, let's get list 3. You have 7. It says TV shows from before you were born. That is so funny. So this could be, this person could like TV shows from before you were born. Maybe they're older than you, or maybe they just have like a classic type of aesthetic. They really like classic things, like old movies and old cars, and even the stripes makes me think of like classic, you know what I mean? Stripes never go out of style. Very interesting. Okay, let's actually look at list 8, and then we're going to do some fun stuff here. So you have 11, found in an attic. Look at all this stuff in regard to like family and old things. Found in an attic. Maybe you find this person in an attic. No, I'm just kidding. I see this as like, again, like old things. Things from maybe before you were born, or things that were from your childhood, or things that are in your family. It could be like a family heirloom or something like that that is coming out, that or you're finding as you go. Maybe your parents or your a family member asks you for a favor and you have to go back to your hometown or back to your childhood home or something like that to help go through some stuff in the attic. And then you find something that kind of spurs you into this new direction. It's kind of like it helps you to reconsider something and to do some healing work. That's really what I'm seeing here. Most of the information we're getting is very much about like healing these family issues. That's what Spirit is emphasizing super hard here. And that's going to help to catalyze this new love. But we still haven't gotten too much information about that, because they're really saying, you know, you need to do the recovery first. They're like, we know you want this information, but you need to focus on the recovery first. And that's why they're like, we're going to give you information about the recovery, because that is the step that's going to get you to this new love. So it's actually, it makes more sense to do it that way. It rolled over to 2. And they said, take that, because it was by accident, and I was going to ignore it. But no, they said, take that. Something you're afraid of. Okay. So it is something you're afraid of doing. Group number 2, there's resistance to digging into the past is what they're telling me. But they're also showing me number 2 on this card is things that sparkle. This could be, like I was saying, like a family heirloom, a ring, or a locket, or something like that that is significant. Even the world records books and the Guinness World Record, the front of them always sparkled. They had like glitter and stuff on. Not glitter, they were like holographic almost. But I feel like, you know, if you have been afraid to go digging into the past to really catalyze this recovery, I think it's going to be so worth it, because they're drawing my attention back to abundance here, and how sparkly all of these gold coins are in this card, and how her wings and her aura kind of look like the color they were showing me of that energy field that you're going to be emitting in the next few months. And it's like you're going to be sparkling. And you're going to attract in things that match that. So it's going to be so worth it. I know that you're probably like, no, I don't want to do that. I just wanted, you know, some positive messages about my romance life and a new love. But they're saying like, just trust me. Doing something you're afraid of and focusing on this healing and this recovery are going to bring in so much abundance for you. Like, you're going to feel better. You're going to actually attract money and wealth, things that sparkle. This could be a ring, right? Like, it could lead to long-term commitment. So, and the number 2 is about partnership and relationships. So yeah, I think that's going to be important. Okay, so now what we're going to do is grab some initials. So I took the letters block from this categories as well, and we're going to roll this to see if we can get some possible initials or significant letters that may be related to this new love. And then we're also going to get the astro dice to see what potential zodiac sign they may be as well. All right, so for group number 2, potential letters or initials, please. Okay, we have an N. I just heard Nick in my head. We have an H, Henry and Hal came to mind. An S. Stephen was the first thing that I thought of. One more. Another H. Yeah, okay, so Henry or Hal could be very significant here. These could be related to your family as well. These may be family members, not just this new love, because that is definitely a big emphasis here in the reading. Now let's get some zodiac signs. So for group 2, zodiac signs of importance, please. You have Sagittarius. Ooh. Libra, very much about balance, partnerships, relationships of all kinds. Yeah. Sagittarius is about travel and stuff. So there could be something to do with, you know, traveling to your hometown or something along those lines. Oops. Oh my God, it went Libra again. I don't know if you guys saw that. But yeah, Libra again. I'll try not to fling it so far. You've got Scorpio. One more, please. And Gemini. Yeah, Gemini. Okay. All right, so now what we're going to do is even more fun stuff. I have created my own DIY charm board. So this gives us the categories of different areas of importance in this situation. And I'm going to use the Fireside Story dice. We're also going to grab some charms to get additional information about what you need to be focusing on, how to do it, and who maybe potentially who this love or new love is. Okay, so for group number 2, what do they need to know, Spirit, in regard to love and romance? Ooh, holy crap. Okay, so everything went everywhere, and this is giving me this indication that the energy is very scattered, and you kind of need to like rein it in, group number 2. So what I'm going to do, since we only have like literally the only blocks that really fell on the board here are in the home category. There's one in social media, obviously, but most of them are in home. What I'm going to do is just line up where they were sort of closest to on the outskirts. Okay, so I'm just going to place them where they are sort of in the circle. Okay. Ooh, boy. Whoa. Well, the first thing I'm seeing is the snake in the family category. So you might have like some people in your family that you do not get along with, and maybe that's where the wounding was and why there's resistance to digging into the past, like narcissists. I can relate, okay? So, you know, family drama, I think we've all got it, right? They're also saying friends. You might have to set boundaries with friends as well. I feel like maybe if you were raised in a narcissistic household with parents who really didn't have boundaries or who took advantage of you, you know, like constantly telling you you weren't doing enough, or not respecting you and your needs or boundaries, or not even teaching you how to do that in the first place. I feel like you need to do this with your friends as well, because friends are the family you choose, and often we attract things based on what we are embodying. And if we didn't learn boundaries, we're not going to set them, which means we're going to attract people who unfortunately can take advantage of those boundaries sometimes, maybe unconsciously or non-intentionally, but still. So I really see doing this self-work in regard to your self-esteem, self-respect, and self-worth to be able to communicate and set boundaries with your family and friends is going to help to catalyze this new love. And you can do this fairly quickly, Spirit just said, because they're reminding me we had that few months card. So you can do this fairly quickly. So just really focus on it, prioritize that, and you will see the benefits of it quite fast. They are drawing me to the home card. So you've got the laughing block and the crying block. You know, like laugh crying, but like actual crying. So I feel like you could be called home for some kind of an event, because we do have the baseball block here under home. This also makes me think of, like, you know, when you play catch with your dad or something like that, and maybe again remembering those fond memories, while at the same time, because you have the magnifying glass, analyzing the painful memories. And having a balance here. It's kind of like, I can appreciate that there were good times, and I can also look at and understand that there were bad times. And I think that both of these aspects are going to be healing. You need both to be able to do this healing, is what Spirit just said. For this recovery to be effective, and to heal your heart and open yourself to new love, they're saying it's important for you to have a balance of harmonious, healthy, loving memories of your family, while at the same time identifying and understanding the deeper roots in some of the more, some really loud motorcycles just went by outside my house, disturbances, right? Like disturbances possibly in childhood or in adolescence, growing up, things where things were not harmonious, maybe where there was trauma even, which is maybe why there's fear of looking at these things. Yeah, I'm going to keep going counterclockwise. So you have work here with the palm tree. That's good. Maybe you're taking a bit of a vacation. Again, maybe like somebody reaches out to you from your family and they invite you to an event, or they invite you to come and do something, or you need to go and do something. And so you kind of take a little bit of time off work to fly back home or drive back home or walk back home, depending on how far you live away from your hometown. I'm also seeing this as like taking a break, also like giving yourself a little bit of leeway here to be able to do some of this more deep emotional work, which means kind of prioritizing that if you can, maybe just taking breaks from work, or maybe taking a few days off if possible. I just heard long weekend, so this could be over a long weekend or something like that. The spiritual guidance you have here is the ball cap. And this always makes me think of anonymity. Like when people wear ball caps and sunglasses and like trench coats, it's because they want to remain anonymous. And I can't even speak and get that out of my mouth. So there's something there that is that feels uncomfortable, because the spiritual guidance is, I think, to like look at these things, to play detective, to make the unknown known, and to do that so that you can heal. But they're saying, that if you've been kind of like hiding this from yourself, or you didn't want to see it, or you've been avoiding it, the spiritual guidance is actually to kind of bring this into the forefront of your mind. And they just said, face it. Yeah, it's about facing it. And now what they're showing me in my mind is Ash Ketchum from Pokemon. Loved that show. I was obsessed with Pokemon growing up. And when he was ready to do battle, when he was like ready to get serious, he would turn his hat around. And that was like the sign that they were just about to do a Pokemon battle. So I feel like that kind of energy here, the spiritual guidance is like, be strong, face these things, and you're gonna win the battle. In romance, we have the fruit block. Very interesting. The fruits of your labors is what Spirit just said. They're like, yeah, you're going to reap the rewards in the fruits. The fruits of your labors will be in the realm of romance, which is why they've drawn you to this reading. So doing this kind of heavy lifting or battling within to be able to heal some of these family issues and boundary issues with friends as well too, is going to actually really benefit your romantic life. And that's why they're saying that this is so important, is because it's all connected. So if you try to avoid these things, then you're not going to get the relationships that you really you're seeking, or that you desire, or really that you deserve. So it is a priority, is what Spirit just said. It is a priority to focus on the healing aspects in regard to self-esteem and respect. It's interesting that we have no blocks in the realm of self, which again leads me to think that you have been kind of avoiding possibly doing some of this self-focused work. That may not be the case. Maybe you just have had priorities that have lain elsewhere. But I do feel like it's time for you to prioritize yourself. It's time for you to really focus energy here on you. What do you need? What do you want? What is going to help you heal? What are some of the hard things that you've been avoiding that in the long run are going to really benefit you? It's going to help you recover. Yeah. Okay, so let's look at social media. You have the rose. This is beautiful. I feel like people are going to be casting roses at your feet. Maybe they see your social media posts, and I feel like you're posting something quite profound. Like maybe you write, because we do have the pencil, so maybe you're writing a post or a blog or something like that, or you're communicating in some way that's very poetic. That's what I'm seeing here. And the mouse is kind of like you're paying attention to the details, or people are going to be paying attention to the details of what you're saying or doing on social media. And I think that's why people are kind of like appreciating what you're putting into it. And they're, again, like throwing roses at your feet. So I think that that's actually going to be really positive. They also just gave me the details of the mouse and the pencil, talking about crossing your T's and dotting your I's. You kind of got to lace some stuff up here, group number 2, because, oh yeah, and the laces in the baseball, yeah, in home. You got to lace some stuff up here because that's going to help you to change your situation, is what they just said. But you've got to choose this new direction and reconsider what you want out of this and what you're willing to put in. They are calling me to get actually the ones with like the planets and stuff on it. So we didn't do that for group 1, but we're going to do that for you guys because that's what Spirit's telling me to do. So we're going to see where this falls as well. Okay, again, it's off the map, but this was in between social media and self, and it is the South Node. And the South Node is to do with our past. It's often karmic things, but it can also be skills that we've developed in past lives and that we're quite comfortable with. It can be in the negative sense where we stay within our comfort zone and we don't kind of expand out into our true potential. So if it's coming up in the self position, then this is telling me that you need to kind of get out of your comfort zone a bit here and face some things from the past with an eye of balance so that you can finally move forward into your destiny, which is the opposite of the South Node, the North Node. If this is in context to social media, there could be some past life skills that you have in regard to writing or communication of some kind, or being very detail oriented. Maybe you're shy and you don't want to put yourself out there, and your South Node is more comfortable remaining in the background, but Spirit is saying, hey, actually you have some talent here that it would be beneficial for you to express. Okay, let's get another one. You have the moon in spiritual guidance. Yeah, the moon is the realm of illusion. It's mystery. It's it can't even be deception. And that's kind of what I was seeing there with the hat. It's anonymity. It's not wanting to be seen. That's very much what the moon is. It obscures things. It makes things cast, shadows. And so we don't necessarily see things clearly for what they are. They are obscured, which is what hats do. So the spiritual guidance is to uncover these things, to look at these darker aspects. It's shadow work, honestly. Yeah, that's what's coming up. I got to tell you like it is. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. You guys need to do some shadow work. That's what's going to help you to heal some of these emotional wounds, because the moon does relate to our emotional and subconscious realms. So doing this deep emotional work and self-identification, healing, and recovery is going to help you to attract this healthy romantic partner who you're truly going to love. Okay, this got knocked out, but we have Saturn in the work environment. Now, Saturn is very much about discipline, routine. It's all about time. And since we did have the palm tree here, which is kind of like about taking time out, I think that, again, it's like trying to find a balance between working and resting, and happy memories and uncomfortable or sad, painful memories, and feeling comfortable staying within or putting yourself out there. And it's just like, I feel like you're kind of needing to reconsider how you create balance in your life, group number 2. And Saturn is going to help you do that because it is the planet of responsibility. So it does ask you to take responsibility for these things, to face them. Maybe sometimes it's a little bit hard for us to do that, but ultimately it's for our benefit in the long run, because again, it will produce, fruits. It will create abundance. So it's like the hard work that you put in will pay off. That is guaranteed when we're looking at Saturn here, especially in the work realm. So you might be a very hard worker. Actually, I think you are. Yeah, you're a very hard worker, group number 2. And I think this person that you're attracting or will attract is going to be a very hard worker as well. Maybe they're the type of person who's like, work hard, rest hard, instead of work hard, play hard, they're like work hard, rest hard. So they have a very healthy understanding of being able to set those boundaries, because that is also a form of self-respect. If you're pushing yourself too hard with work, that can also be a form of self-disrespect. And you also want to look at, where am I kind of avoiding other things that I need to be dealing with by kind of overworking. All right, now we're going to get the flower petals. Thank you so much to the anonymous donor who sent these to us through the Amazon wish list that I have linked below in the description box, so that we can have these divine messages from the flowers. So you have Violet, the answers and truths are always within. Yeah, they're calling you to go within. Group number 2. And that's, the moon in the spiritual guidance. That's, doing some introspective work, really feeling into what needs to be healed here. And you have Gerbera, which also came up in group number 1. So again, you guys are very much connected. There's a lot of crossover. And it says, show appreciation and joy shall follow. Show appreciation and joy shall follow. I will let you see the context of that in group number 1 if you felt called to it. Also, group number 1 had a lot more stuff about this other potential person, whereas this reading is very much heavily focused on you guys. Now they want me to get the zodiac signs again in the context of the chart. Oh, look at that. No way. You have Scorpio in social media, and group number 1 had that twice in their reading, and now it's coming up in yours. I know that you guys are connected there. You're meant to watch group number 1 as well. Yeah. Okay. So I'll just leave it at that. I won't go into the context of that because it's in group number 1. Okay. You have Cancer in the home. Yes, yeah. Cancer is to do with the home. Cancer actually rules the home, and it's a highly emotional water sign connected to family. It's very much focused on doing some of this healing in regard to your family issues, which we've literally seen there in the cards. So Spirit's just really driving the message home here. They're like, I said it, I'm going to say it again, I'm going to say it again until, it really sinks in. Cancer is the sign of the crab, and so it does tend to kind of hide its vulnerabilities in its hard shell. It can be a little bit aggressive when things, if you're feeling triggered and stuff like that. But they want you to actually utilize the energy of Cancer to help to heal your relationships within the home front, even if it's just within yourself. Maybe you don't need to confront anyone physically or go physically to your hometown. Maybe it's just about you doing this internally, and maybe even looking at some old pictures, because that's what they just showed me was that's kind of like that whatever's in the attic type of thing. Maybe it's like a metaphor for just going into your old pictures and looking into that mental attic, and kind of doing some unpacking there. All right, one more. Oh, we have Cancer and spiritual guidance. Yeah, they're really driving this one home. Cancer rules the moon. And we did have the moon in spiritual guidance. So they're just really kind of reconfirming the same messages over and over and over again, because they want to prove to you that this is important. Spirit is like, you need to understand that this is key. And it's going to be so, so healing and so, so helpful. And that's why they've drawn you to this reading. And if you're still here, you're a real one, because many probably jumped off about, a quarter of the way through when they realized we're not going to talk about this new love. We're going to talk about your healing journey. It's like, no, I didn't come here for that. But that's fine. They're not ready to do the work yet, but you are. If you're here, you're ready to do this work, even if it's triggering, even if it's not what you want to hear, even if it's not what you want to do, even if it's what you're afraid of. Good for you for having courage and being brave and, being willing to potentially face some of these darker things within yourself, and to provide this compassion for yourself so you can truly heal and attract this love that you very much deserve. Okay, now they're saying we can get charms to finish up. So these are just charms from around my house. I am going to get some proper charms as well. And if you guys want to send me charms too, I did have a subscriber propose that idea, and I do have a PO box. So if you guys are interested and you have like little charms from around the house, or just little things that kind of set off your intuition and you want to see them used in the readings, send me an email through my contact form, which is via my website. The link is in the description box below, and I will send you the PO box so that you guys can send, and we can start like a whole new pile where I'll have this one from like my home, and then I'll have one where it's all subscribers' contributions of charms. I think that would be so cool. So yeah, so group 2. Look at that. You have the moon sitting over near spiritual guidance again. It did come out a little bit in romance. So it's kind of in between. I'm going to take it as kind of both. It's like the spiritual guidance is to connect to the moon, which is your subconscious mind. The crescent moons can also be about new beginnings. It's like a fresh start. And since you have the donut here, it's going to be so sweet. You know, it's so funny that in romance, you literally have two food references, fruit and donuts, and they're both sweet. So I feel like this romance is going to be very, very sweet for you. It's going to really benefit you, and you're going to feel very deeply and emotionally gratified is the word that Spirit just gave me. So it's definitely going to be worth it. We have the silver sparkly heart, and this came up mostly in the self position, a little bit in social media, but I mean, social media is very much about yourself too. So I think that's why they're connected. This can be really just kind of like about showing your value, like showing off what is kind of glittery and sparkly about you. Maybe it's your thoughts, you know, maybe it's your creations, because I am getting like poetry here. Like, I don't know if you're actually a poet, but maybe you're just very well spoken or eloquent, or you have information that is helpful or something like that. It doesn't have to be artistic, but yeah, that's kind of what I'm seeing there. And then you have hugs and cotton candy. So another sweet thing. Do you guys like desserts? Because we have a lot of like sweet things in your reading. I think this is also Spirit's way of saying that, you know, you can expect good things, sweet things in the months to come. And maybe even this new love is somebody who likes sweets. Maybe they take you out for donuts or for cotton candy or something like that. Now, hugs in the social media department here makes me think that you'll be getting some appreciation through social media for whatever it is that you're creating there or sharing. Yeah. Now, in family, you have a Toyota key. Is that what that is? No, it says Tamer. Never mind. I don't even know what this is from. It's just a random key that I have. I for the life of me, I could not tell you where this came from, but it's just one of those things, you know? And so you have a key in the family position. So the key to your healing, or the key to the sweetness in this romance, and to your abundance, Spirit keeps bringing that up. The key to your abundance in all these areas is held within the family. It is about healing these family issues. Now, the other thing that I see with key here is that this could be something that unlocks, like this could be like the key to your family home. Maybe maybe your family is selling the family home. Maybe you're inheriting it. I'm not sure, but I just see you like going through old pictures, or maybe, yeah, you might be like acquiring something that was connected to the family. You know, the snake can also be about transformation if it's not about like narcissists and stuff like that. I did want to mention that too, because that just came to mind. Snakes can be about transformation, shedding old skins. And since we have this key, which is something that unlocks, it does feel like there's something to do with this transformation or something new. Now, we also had the divider fall on the outside of the family line, but I'm going to take it there. So the divider, this is actually something that, you know, I have like a little sort of like tackle box that I keep some of my rings in, and I use this to kind of like separate, you know, little areas. So dividers can be speaking about boundaries, right? We did see that message come up many, many times through love yourself first, self-respect, boundaries with family, boundaries with friends. This can also, the key can also be about like locking, right? Which is like a boundary. Doors are boundaries, locks are boundaries. This is how we say when or who can come in or out. So that's definitely an important message there. And then in home, you have the bread clip. It says 19V330. These could be significant numbers. 1 could be January, 9 could be the 9th month, or January 9th. You could be 33 years old, something like that. Or these could just be random numbers. But I'm seeing that the bread clip here is really about keeping something fresh by sealing it off. And so again, it's kind of like you have these fresh, happy memories in there that are good, but you also have these still maybe fresh wounds that haven't been dealt with too. So they're saying being able to address these things in regard to your home, in regard to your family life, in regard to, yeah, things that nourish you, because bread is also kind of like, when I think of bread, I think of bread and butter. These are the things that really nourish. These are the things that can sustain us when all else fails. And it's also kind of like comfort food. And I know for me, like I can't really eat gluten, but I love bread, and it is, yeah, it's definitely a comfort food. So something to do with that in relation to the home, like that comfort food. All right, let's see if they want any final closing messages from anything else here. Yeah, no, the final closing message for you is really to go watch group number 1, and also to make sure that you're prioritizing your needs, your well-being, your emotional self-care, and these boundaries. That's really the emphasis of this reading. That is what's going to bring the sweetness in your love life and your abundance in terms of, it could be finances, or it could be just good luck in other areas of your life, okay? So that is what I see for you, group number 2. I hope that this helped you and that it supported you, gave you some additional information or insight into these patterns and into this potential new love as you do this healing work. So I'm sending you lots of love and healing energy to help support you on this path and to see fast, fruitful results of the sweetest kind. So much love and many blessings, guys. I love you, and we'll see you in the next reading. Oh, and if you want to go deeper with the readings that I have here on the channel, we do have memberships available. If you don't see the join button next to the subscribe button, that's because you're on an iOS device and you do need to go through a desktop or computer to be able to see that and join, which will give you access to all of the members only pick a card readings. We also do once weekly 7-day week ahead forecast live streams where I answer members' questions on camera and connect to you psychically, providing healing insight and guidance. And we're also doing tutorials and things like that. The Soul family members also get a discount on any products, courses, and digital downloads that I come out with via my website. So thanks so much for being here, guys. Once again, I love you. I'm sending you blessings and lots of hugs. Bye, guys. All right. Hi, group number 3. Welcome to your reading. So you chose the past life relationship card. It says you have known each other before. So I feel as though you guys are very passionately embracing with someone who you have known before. This is a past life relationship. It's not necessarily someone you met in this lifetime. For some of you, it could be, but I think for most of you, it's actually someone you've never met in this life, but you know each other at soul level. So let's get some more information. Let's grab a few more cards from the Romance Angels deck for group number 3. Okay, we have chemistry. There's a strong magnetic attraction here. So this is somebody, like I said, they were really highlighting or emphasizing the way that they were embracing here in this card. So I feel like this is somebody you're going to have a lot of sexual chemistry with, lots of attraction here. That's good. Let's see what else for group number 3 in regard to, oh, that's way too many. I'll just put them back in and see if just 1 or 2 more. There's 1 and 2. Okay, great. So we have, okay, this came up in group number 2, healing family issues, your love life benefits as you forgive your parents. So everybody's kind of got this theme around healing family issues, releasing things from the past. You have reconciliation, someone from your past is returning to your life. Well, yeah, we can see that here with this past life relationship. So someone from your past is most definitely returning to your life in the form of this past life partner. Okay, so now let's grab some cards from the Angel Answers deck. And this one does have timing and yeses and nos in it. So if you were questioning kind of when this would happen or whether it's someone you have in mind or something like that, let's find out. You have improving health. Chemistry could be in regard to your health as well. I feel like there's a yeah, that's so funny. I was just about to say I feel like there's a magnetic attraction here, and then I looked down and that's literally what it says on the card there. I had forgotten. So as you improve your health, you increase this magnetic attraction that you have with this person. You have the situation will improve. So I feel like the last lifetime that you guys had together, things were very, I'm hearing the word tumultuous. Things were tumultuous in the past life that you had together. Maybe things didn't go well, or there was some health issues, there was some mental health issues, or there was some other things that needed to kind of be dealt with in that past life. But I'm feeling like in this lifetime, you've dealt with a lot of the sort of underlying roots of that karma. And as a result, there's going to be that reconciliation so that you two can come back together and really enjoy each other's company, I think. But I'm interested to get more information. Oh, you have abundance, and group number 2 had this in the same position. So you may want to watch group number 2. And group number 2 referenced group number 1. So I feel like all of these readings are sort of indirectly connected. Interesting. Okay. Let's see. Reconsider. They had this card too. Okay. So, I'm getting a message of an inheritance here from healing family issues and abundance. This doesn't necessarily mean like a financial inheritance or a literal inheritance. This can be like a something to do with your DNA, because they are showing me in this card, it's actually kind of like the caduceus, but it's reminding me of the DNA spiral. So I feel like there's something to do with healing, and that is kind of like the abundance that you're accessing through your family line, which is through the DNA, through your genetics. Something about chemistry between the DNA. So it could be like you have similar soul blueprint to this person from a past life. They're part of your soul family is what Spirit is telling me. Yeah. Okay. So of course that you're going to have similarities within the soul blueprint if you come from the same soul family group, and that you're unlocking abundance through the reconciliation with this person, because it's kind of forcing you to reconsider what didn't work in the past is what Spirit is saying. So this person's returning to you to help you continue improving on your health and reconciling any issues that you've had in your family line, in your genetics, because I'm seeing specifically in group number 2, the healing of family issues was very much related to emotional wounding. Whereas for you guys here in group 3, I'm seeing that it's actually to do with like physical health. So the DNA, the physical body, generational diseases or just like minor issues, like maybe hereditary things, stuff like that. And this soulmate, for whatever reason, because you guys are part of the same soul family, I think you guys have both kind of struggled with these things. Maybe in that past life, one of you did suffer pretty long term with some health issues, may have even succumbed to or died from them in the long run. And that's why they're saying in this lifetime, the situation is going to improve, because you guys are both individually and collectively focusing on improving the health here through this reconstruction and reconciliation of the DNA. That is what's unlocking this spiritual abundance for you and helping you to heal. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. They actually want me to get the flower petals now. I was going to get these later, but let's do these now. And then we're going to get some new fun things that I've created. So we have lilac. The future is sometimes lost in the wanderings of yesterday. Well, yeah, we're definitely seeing that with the past influence here. Family issues are also from the past. So we have past lives with this other person. We have past generational things being an influence here. So the future is kind of being, directly influenced by what has come before. Your ancestry is important here. You have Daisy, believe and trust in happiness. Happiness will improve your health is what they're saying here. There may have been physical wounds in the family line because there was a lack of happiness, or there was, it could even be chemical imbalances like mental health issues, because those are physical health issues as well. You have Gardenia, listen to the divine whispers stirring Listen to the divine whispers stirring in your heart. I'm having a real hard time talking in this reading, I'm noticing, and my throat keeps kind of like my throat keeps like closing up, and I'm like stumbling over my words, which I was not doing in the first two readings. So I feel like there's something to do with the throat, something to do with communication. This could be where there's a need to do some healing, expressing of the self. You have forget me not, always remain true to your intentions. And I feel like this is actually from this past life partner saying, forget me not, like, please don't forget me. And I'm seeing your soul saying, how could I? Like you're a soul family member, and there's a deep bond there of love. So no, you guys are not able to forget each other. And then you have Daphne, what pleases us most shapes us. So focusing on what pleases you, maybe even reconsidering what brings you a sense of happiness or joy is going to help to improve your health and increase your abundance here as well. Okay, so now what we're going to do is actually something completely random, and Spirit actually directed me to these cards in my categories game. So they had me dig in my sort of games box in my office and take out these lists from categories, and then they told me what we do is use the astro dice with the numbers on it to roll to get the number on this card or whichever side of the card, and to see. I'm having a really hard, like, I feel super ungrounded. Sorry. I was trying to explain how these work, and for whatever reason, I'm feeling like I have like brain fog right now, and I feel super ungrounded and like easily distracted. These could be some of the, like, if there's neurochemical chemistry issues there. I mean, like, speaking for myself, I have ADHD, which is a brain chemical thing where I don't have enough dopamine, right? So, among other things, but I feel like this could be somehow involved in this situation. There could be depression as well, or there could have been depression in those past lifetimes together, or depression could run in your family. Yeah, it's like a lack of clarity in the mind, but it's coming at like a physical level. You know, it's not really it's like the brain. Okay, well, let's go ahead with this categories. So basically the way these work is we roll the dice, we find the corresponding number, and then that gives us some information about this person or this situation. So we have list 5, and now I'm going to roll the dice. You have the number 10, so that means it's 10, and it says items in vending machines. That's interesting. So items in vending machines might be significant. This could be related directly to food and food choices. Maybe healing some like familial lineage choices around food and diet could be helpful. I know for me, like, eating better helps me to manage my ADHD symptoms for sure. Okay. I do see this one poking out. So we have list 8. Let's roll again and get the one from this one. You have number 6, which is reasons to procrastinate. That's funny. So yeah, maybe there's some procrastination that has been going on around these healing of the family issues, or around reconnecting with this past life partner, because I feel like there is kind of like some resistance to it. Like I feel that you guys are magnetizing together, but at the same time, there's like friction. Yeah, there's friction. And that's why they're emphasizing that you need to reconsider, because not reconsider this person. It's more like recalling things from the past that are creating this friction so that you can heal it, and so that that's removed from the equation here. And especially around procrastination and choices, because vending machines also make me think of like choices and options and choosing different things. So yeah, there could be a lot that you're kind of having to look at. Okay, let's see. You have the number 10 again, but from this card, list 16, it says types of exercise. Yeah, they're definitely emphasizing the physical health here. It's directly related to this new love, to this romance, or rather to this past life relationship. So health is super, super important. If you've been procrastinating about exercising or changing your diet, Spirit is really trying to get across the message that it's important that you focus on those things and improve those areas of your life, because that's what's going to help you to catalyze the type of chemistry with this person that is going to be much, much healthier, because it's like healthy body, healthy mind, healthy soul, healthy relationships. That's kind of what Spirit is saying here. They're telling me to roll one more time for each one. So we're going to roll for list 5. You have 10 again. No way. Items and vending machines. Yeah, they're really just driving home this message. Let's roll for list 8. You have the number 7, items that come in the mail, things that you maybe order online. I just saw supplements. You guys might be ordering supplements online. So yeah, this could be something that you're ordering online that helps to improve your health and that gives you this real wealth of abundance that supports you in connecting to and reconciling with this past relationship. Okay. Let's see, list 16, we have number 5, things that are sticky. Well, things that are sticky, there's a couple of things that come to mind, but to keep it PG, I'm really seeing honey. Shilajit is very sticky. That's helped me, if you guys resonate as kind of like having any of those mental, physical health, you know, through the brain and stuff like that. Shilajit can be really helpful. Things that are sticky can be like candy. So again, vending machines, steering clear of sugar or refined sugars. I know that this is a love reading and Spirit's wanting to talk about health. Okay. So again, this just, it's important to the love aspect of this. I know that's not necessarily what you came here for, but that's what you getting because Spirit wants to talk about it. Yeah. I do want to roll one more time for list 8. They're telling me to do that. You have number 1. Things with tails. Things with tails could be related to animals. I just saw somebody walking the dog. So maybe that's something you're procrastinating about and then you need to get out, go for walks, be able to really kind of just be more active is kind of what I'm seeing here. This could actually be involved in how you meet this person. Like maybe you're going to get the mail and they're walking their dog and you meet that way and you kind of have this chemistry. You start talking about health. You start talking about what you're doing in terms of healing. Maybe you strike up a conversation about something you ordered in the mail because it's a healing product or something like that. That's kind of what I'm seeing here. So it's definitely directly related to this reconciliation and this reconnection from this past life partnership. It is definitely connected to that. They also just showed me things that grow. So you could be like out in the garden, getting some fresh air. I feel like you guys meet outside if you haven't met them yet, but I want to get more information. So we're going to do a couple of different things now. I want to get letters. So we're going to see if we can get some like initials for group number 3 in regard to this past life soulmate. You have W. Okay. I just heard William or Will. You've got L. Oh, that's Liam. That's funny because that's literally my dad and my brother's names. Okay, what else do you have? S. That's the first letter of my name. That's so weird. What is going on here? Well, it's healing family issues. I guess I'm in this reading too with you guys. But take the letters as they resonate for you too. Like whatever comes to your mind, trust that too. Yeah, we got another W. I just heard Wanda. F. Francis. Eileen. It's like the only I name that came to mind. Eileen. Maybe your name's Eileen. Maybe your soulmate's name is Eileen. Okay, one more time. And H. Hank. Hal. Okay, now let's get some zodiac signs. You have Aries, They could be in Aries. You could be in Aries. We have Pisces. Interesting that we have Aries and Pisces. Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. Pisces is the last one in the 12th house. So things that are spiritual in nature. We have Aries again. Okay, so Aries energy is definitely prominent here. This person could be someone who is very sort of headstrong. They're self-focused. They're very concerned with their appearance is what Spirit just showed me. And maybe that's why we have Aries again. That's 3 Aries. Wow. Yeah, I feel like this person may be an Aries, or they may have a lot of Aries qualities, meaning that they're very leadership centric. They take charge of situations. They're very bold. They go after what they want. They don't compromise. Yeah, I'm getting the message that they are concerned with how they look, which also puts them into that category of taking care of their health, because looks and health do tend to go hand in hand. So that's something really important for them. And we have Gemini. Okay, they're telling me one more, and then we'll get into the charms and the blocks. Sagittarius. Okay, there seems to be a lot of like fire signs and things like that. And again, Sagittarius can be about travel and knowledge and philosophy and stuff. But what I'm actually getting from it is more like if you might meet this person when you are like out for a walk, or you're just kind of like out doing something outside of your home. But we're going to get information out on that because I created this DIY little charms mat so that we can look at the different areas in your life related to this romantic connection, and or what you need to be focusing on to attract it or to heal it, or to experience this chemistry. So we're going to start with the Fireside Story dice. These are like little intuitive prompts I like to use. So we're just going to find out some information using these. So for group number 3, what do they need to know about this past life relationship? Okay. This one fell out and like way off to the side here, but I'm seeing it it lined up with friends. This one kind of lined up with romance. Okay, I'm just going to separate them into, this one's more on that side. Okay. That's interesting. You actually have 2 of the same blocks in the home category that group number 1 had. You might, like I said, be drawn to that reading. The first one that I want to talk about, though, is actually the knife and fork, which is to do with diet and food, and it is in the romance category. And look at that. We have a dog. I did mention walking a dog. Yeah, so Spirit's really confirming that. We have fishing here. And this is speaking to me of like health food. Like when I think of fish, I think of like omega-3s and stuff like that. Maybe you are walking to the mailbox to get an order of omega-3s off of an Amazon delivery or something like that, or from that you ordered online. And you meet this person. You know, it would be so funny. Like, what if you ordered some like salmon online or something like that, and you had like a box of salmon, and then the dog smells it and runs up and tries to like tackle you, and the owner is like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry," and then that's how you meet. That's just a little story that's coming to mind. I don't know if that's actually going to be the case. Okay, let's look at the spiritual guidance here. You have this sad face, or this actually looks more like disappointment than sadness. But I also am getting like with the chemistry card there that it could be, like I was mentioning before, depression or just feeling down or melancholy. Well, that's what they called it in past life. Oh, yeah. One or both of you may have suffered from melancholy, or you may have had that in your family line, and then you reincarnated into a line of souls or a genealogy that has that same issue. So you might struggle with melancholy. In this case, we would call it depression, you know, in this day and age. The spiritual guidance around this is to find happiness. Didn't we have a card about happiness? I think we did. And because what they're showing me is the color yellow. The color yellow is the color of happiness. It's the color of the sun. You actually may need some vitamin D. They're talking a lot about like health issues in this reading. So diet's important. Supplements are important. exercise is important. The more that you can experience this health and this happiness mentally and physically, the more that this relationship is going to be either attracted to you or it's going to flourish and thrive. Now, with work, you have the chicken here. Let me just tune into that. What does this mean, Spirit? They said that you're producing something because they were showing me chickens laying eggs and eggs being very valuable, and they're showing me like eggs going onto the conveyor belt and being put into cartons and boxes and being shipped out. So it does seem to be a lot to do with like shipping and mail. You may do something like that for work, or they did mention, production, like producing things. You may be somebody who creates things or helps in the production of something. This could also be what they do. We did mention Amazon, so they may work for Amazon in some degree, or they may be somebody who sells on Amazon. I'm not sure. Let's keep going. You have the home. In the home category, we have the camera and the burger. So these were the two that came up in group number 1. And then you actually have the house in the home category. So this is definitely somebody that you will meet close to home. Like I said, I'm seeing you meeting this person on a walk around your neighborhood. Like I keep seeing them walking the dog or you walking the dog, and something about mail and then the home being emphasized here. The camera and the burger, they're telling me don't analyze these in context of this reading. That was just a message to go look at group 1, because there are significant or relevant messages for you in that group. Okay. All right. So I'll move on to family. You have these leaves here. Leaves, it's like letting things die, because the leaves fall when the tree is going into that hibernation phase. So again, these are like past life things that kind of fell into the past, or the past is kind of still impacting you. It's like these cycles of death and rebirth. There could also be something important in the fall that happens in regard to your family or healing these family issues. Because they're showing me the fall. This could also happen when you're like in your family home or near your family home. Oh yeah, that was a message from group 1, wasn't it? Yeah, it was. They had the hometown message coming up. So this could be something to do with family in the fall. Maybe you're going for Thanksgiving. You're in town for, I think the Super Bowl came up in group number 1, which I think is in the fall as well, because that's what the burger was kind of, or like a backyard barbecue or something like that. And it's like I'm seeing like almost like a block party or like a family reunion or a family get together or something like that could be happening in the fall. And this is a timeless reading, but I am filming this in August. So fall would be, September, October, maybe even November, into those months. So that's actually, within the next few months. And in friends, this is interesting. I feel like your friends do not approve of this person. If you end up meeting them, I feel like your friends are kind of cautioning you. I think they see some red flags there, and there may actually be red flags in this relationship from the past. But I think that the reason that those red flags are there is because it's really emphasizing where you need to do some healing. So I think this relationship is going to be one that does challenge you to heal some things within yourself. However, it's ultimately going to be, for your benefit to do this healing, whether or not it's in relation to this other person. But yeah, your friends seem wary. Maybe they're just telling you to slow down. Maybe they just don't want to lose you as a friend. Maybe they fear that if you get into a relationship, you won't talk to them anymore, or you'll just be, too focused on your partner. Or maybe they're just telling you to like slow down, because maybe you're like going into this relationship too hot and heavy because there's so much chemistry, and they're like, don't forget, focus on your health. Don't forget, focus on what you need. Like that could be the case too. And then in social media, you have like this rope, and they gave me the word the phrase all tied up. So social media may be something that is actually causing some restriction here. Maybe you feel attached to looking at things on social media. And maybe that's like an unhealthy thing for your mental well-being. If that's the case, I think abstaining from certain social media sites and or reducing your time consuming social media could be really helpful, because it's going to help your neurochemistry to improve, or your physical health to improve, or just even like your attention to other things. Because that was what was happening in the beginning of the reading, was my attention was off. I felt ungrounded. And I find that that happens when I'm on my phone too much, or when I'm like focusing on the internet too long. And I do this for work, so you know it happens. But they're saying like that could be an attachment that's creating or exacerbating some of these health issues, and they want you to kind of take a break or just kind of regulate yourself when it comes to social media consumption, so that you can actually prioritize other things that are going to be much healthier for you, and as a result attract this other person who's going to reflect that back to you. Now, like I said, I do feel like this past life relationship may be triggering in some regards, because yes, there's chemistry and there's a lot of like sexual, physical passion between you guys, but I feel like there could be some things that you need to deal with emotion wise, or kind of like if this person is really super into health and you're not, this could be a conflict in the relationship that you have to overcome by either adapting or compromising. That's something that's coming through as well. That could be the case. Yeah, they do want me to get the signs in context of the different categories. So let's take a look and see some additional information, please, Spirit. Okay, you have Leo in the romance category. So this is very romantic, very passionate energy. Leos do tend to be quite dramatic and performative in the best possible way. When it comes to romance, they tend to be, you know, like big lovers, very pronounced romantics. You know, they're the type to recite poetry or to just really enjoy kind of like buying you roses, taking you out to dinner, or they want to be pampered in that way themselves, depending on, you know, which kind of polarity we're looking at there. But yeah, that's kind of what I see there, is that this person may be very gregarious in their form of love language, to put it that way. Okay, let's see what else. That rolled way off the table, but it was in social media, and it's Gemini. And Gemini is the communicator, so that's very much to do with social media. Gemini does rule forms of communication, which are in this case related to fast communication technology. It can also be a short attention span. Geminis, and I can say this because I'm a Gemini rising, we can be a little bit spacey in the sense that we're easily distracted, and that was something that was coming up. So yeah, I did mention ADHD. I don't know if that's necessarily the case literally, or if it's just kind of symptoms that are showing up. But if you are feeling really kind of pulled in all directions or easily distracted, again, they're saying kind of cut the cord of attachment from social media as much as you can. I just heard TikTok, so some of you might be on TikTok, you know, consuming a lot of TikTok content, and it's like short, or maybe it's just an example of kind of like the short attention span, because the videos are quite short and, you know, like entertaining, and they catch your attention. And when I think of TikTok too, I'm not on it anymore, but when I was on it for a short period of time, it was kind of overwhelming for me, because it was like one video on this topic and then another one on this topic, and it's just like it was just like Russian roulette, and you never knew what you were going to get. And part of that was, I think, feeding into some of the attention issues that I was experiencing, or it was not feeding into them, it was just kind of exacerbating them, because I do have like diagnosed ADHD, and that really just kind of made it worse. But then again, it also taught me a lot about ADHD. So I mean, yeah, pros and cons, but I'm just seeing kind of like the attention being a factor here. Yeah. When you meet this person, they might be in like their social media relationship status could be something as to why your friends are like, ooh, maybe don't date that person. Like I've seen them on Tinder, or I've seen them on Bumble. Sorry, there's like a fruit fly on your self category. That's funny. Yeah, they could see that, oh, you know, that it says that their status is in a relationship with so-and-so, and that's why they're kind of cautioning you. Investigate that on your own. I won't go too much into that, but yeah. I'm going to get some astrology for these as well. You have Uranus in the South. Okay. Yeah, these some pretty unexpected things. I just heard cataclysmic like realizations or things that you need to deal with. Like if you've had issues kind of trusting yourself to be consistent. Oh yeah, because the Gemini energy. If you've had issues trusting yourself to be consistent, this could really kind of upset that, because maybe this person is very consistent and disciplined and it kind of challenges you, or the other way around. Maybe you're very consistent and disciplined and this other person is very sort of sporadic. And yeah, that could be something that causes a little bit of upheaval, or this could be something that caused, you know, some rifts in the past. And there does seem to be a need for reconciliation. I think a part of this relationship coming back together is for the purpose of healing what happened in the past and also catalyzing the healing of the physical body. Let's get one more roll from this one and then we'll get charms. Oh, you have the Sun in the Friend's house. Sun is to do with illumination, the self, and also to do with healing. They just gave me the word spotlight as well. So your friends, yeah, your friends feel wary of this person for whatever reason. I will leave you to discern the details of that as things come up, okay? So let's get charms. So for group number 3, what do they need to know about this past life relationship or in regard to love, please? All right. We got lots going on here. I'm going to take that there. Oops, that goes here. Okay. So let's start with work. You have go away, got attitude, and super cool. You might be just, what did we have? Chicken in regard to work as well. Maybe this is why your friends are wary of this person. If they have like a social media account or if they work online or something like that, they might think that your friends, I should say, might perceive this person as having attitude or thinking that they're too cool. I don't know why that message is coming through, but it is. Yeah, that could be the case. Or maybe you kind of, when you're in work mode, you have like these go away glasses on of like, don't disturb me. I'm almost getting the got attitude is kind of like, I haven't had my coffee, don't talk to me yet, you know, something like that. And that again could relate back to these health issues and attention levels and neurochemistry and energy levels and things like that too. And the super cool with the rainbow here, the rainbow always makes me think of the rainbow body, which is the chakra system and how that relates to your physical health. So yeah, this is kind of like catalyzing some super intense healing for you. And that's why Uranus is kind of like intense upheaval and sometimes like cataclysms that lead to innovation and growth. So I think that's actually a good thing in the long run. All right. Now in regard to home, you have divider. So this is about setting boundaries. Yeah, there may be some boundaries that need to be set or some separation that needs to occur in regard to work and home, personal life and social media. It's like I'm feeling like it's not necessarily directly related to home. It's kind of more like, how are you separating things in your life? Are you kind of getting overwhelmed because everything is kind of meshing into each other and it's hard to tell things apart? Or are you being very clear about the delineations of what is most important, like prioritize? Basically. You also have fresh nap. So this is about refreshing and cleaning. This could literally be talking about cleaning your home. This could also be talking about cleaning up your diet in your home, because we did have the burgers here. So like maybe, you know, not buying anything that is going to derail your health goals or what have you. I just saw the line, it says leaves skin soft and smooth. So you could be incorporating new routines into your home environment, like maybe moisturizing, doing some self-care, right? Because the camera can also relate to like how you see yourself, taking pictures of yourself, maybe even taking selfies, because, you know, you're noticing an improvement in your skin. You have this is like the Aritzia, like the original TNA symbol. So this makes me think of like they used to sell, they started out selling like yoga pants. They still do, but they've really expanded into all sorts of different attire now. But when they started, it was very much just about yoga pants and athletic attire. So again, I feel like you may be working out at home and creating this harmony and this balance, because this symbol also makes me always think of like the Trinity. And this is kind of like where you can create union between opposites, or, you know, different aspects or parts of the self and your needs, while at the same time maintaining those, you know, delineations and separations that are healthy and help you to prioritize. In the family category, we have the little ring, the closure ring. So, I think you may be trying to or needing to get closure, especially since we were looking at the fall block, which is like death and rebirth. So you may be actually getting some kind of closure in your family unit, or in regard to healing these family issues. And you have the Republic of France. So yeah, and this is speaking to me of ancestry in this particular case. So yeah, it's like finding closure within your ancestry, within your family line, maybe doing some inquiry into the genetic history of your family line could be helpful. In friends, you have, this is so cute, you have the space cat, like the little planet cat, and you have the moon. They match really well, actually. That's nice. But what I'm seeing here is kind of like, I think that your friends think that you're not seeing something. Like I'm seeing them being like, you're such a space cadet. Like, how do you not see this? We see it. We see these red flags, or like we see these issues, or we have issues with these things, and you're just like, no, it's fine. Again, I would encourage you to find out for yourself, because I don't really get a read on this past person. I can't really tell if they are aligned or not. I'm only getting it from the spiritual perspective, which is like, you're meant to catalyze with them for a particular reason, because they're part of your larger soul group and family, and it is catalyzing the healing or the growth in, you know, your physical, mental, and emotional health. So, I mean, is that a bad thing? No, that's a good thing, but it may come with challenges. And I think that's maybe why your friends are a little bit wary, because they can see some red flags that you can't, and that you're maybe ignoring. Okay, lots in social media now. So we have the butterfly bookmark. We have oh yeah, and we have oh my god. Lots of reactions, lots of stickers. You have the peace hands as well. So yeah, I feel like there's just like, maybe you're getting sucked into online drama. Maybe this is related to your family as well. If you have like social media where you're interacting with like family and stuff like that. Or it could be interrelated with friends. But if it's not to do with those social circles, it's more like maybe transforming your relationship with social media. Maybe even saying goodbye to it, because the peace hands can be like deuces, you know, like peace out, bye. Maybe temporarily disabling your account, or just taking a break from social media, stepping back, that kind of thing. Maybe because there's just kind of, it's just taking up a lot of your attention. And then in spiritual guidance, you have the crazy glue, super glue. So this usually talks to me about attachment, but in this case, it's speaking about repair. Yeah, it's really here to let you know that if you have felt like something's been off or broken, you can repair that. You just kind of need to comb out the tangles, right? This little cute little brush. It's from a little My Little Pony doll. It's like this innocence, and combing out the tangles is kind of like soothing and calming your mind, maybe with connecting to childhood things. Maybe that's part of the healing of the family issues, and could be related to your diet indirectly as well. But yeah, I just really see the spirit is talking about you doing some repair work, doing some healing, focusing on your health, making sure that you are prioritizing the right food choices, the right mental consumption choices, the right interactions within your work and with your family, your friends, and this potential romantic partner. You know, like just kind of, I would say proceed with caution. Group number 3, I don't think that this is necessarily like a negative karmic situation, although it may have some of the qualities of that. Okay. So, but ultimately it's helping you, it's catalyzing you, because they keep giving me that word, kind of spurring you into the healing of yourself, especially as it relates to your physical health, your mental health, and how that relates to your ancestry and your genealogy. Okay. So that is what I see for you, group number 3. I hope that this reading was supportive in some way, that it gave you a little bit of context or insight, and that you are making these good, healthy choices for yourself in all of these areas of your life, because you definitely deserve that. All right, guys. So I'm sending you so much love. Thank you so much for being here. And if you enjoy my reading style and you want to go deeper, we do have memberships available here on the channel. This will give you access to all of the members only readings. We do lots of pick a card readings, as well as weekly readings and live readings where I jump on and answer your questions live on camera, providing healing, insight, and guidance for you in a more one-on-one style, especially since I don't take one-on-one clients anymore or do personal readings. That's really the only way to work with me more directly. If you want to become a soul family member, you also get discounts on products, upcoming courses, and also digital downloads that I create. And those can be accessed through my website. It's TarotandBeyond.com, which is linked in the description box below. So thank you so much, guys, for being here. Once again, I love you. I appreciate you, and we'll see you in the next reading. Bye.